Hello, my name is Jordan Grant and I'm a senior here at Clean State University. Today I will be discussing about polarity therapy. I will be going into depth about the benefit risk, financial implementations, various treatments, and how as consumers we can become more educated on how polarity therapy is a great beneficial addition to the complementary therapies. So when asking what is polarity therapy? Polarity therapy is a generally all-encompassing practice that works for anybody in any type of well-being. It really meets at where your health is in its current state to where you hope to move forward. Polarity therapy is an arrangement of treatment utilized in elective medications. It's planned to reestablish a fair dissemination of the body's vitality by joining contact, exercise, and nourishment and mindfulness. So, when asking why is polarity therapy important to our health? Polarity therapy is important because an inclusive technique for recovering diseases subjected to both the Western and Eastern hemisphere. The therapy revolves around alternating the imperativeness stream in the body which has been blocked. This therapy solely relies upon the likelihood to keep up with the commonplace of prosperity and success through the electromagnetic pulses in our body that spill out positive and negative energy through a fair field. This thought of prosperity and recovering therapy was made by Dr. Ralph Stone long decades prior to. Polarity therapy is considered one of the 7 Ayurveda chakras as the fundamental essentialness center. So when discussing the 5 elements generated by our chakras, please keep in mind that these components are not the same as what you would see portrayed in a Chinese perception. Yet there are some correspondences. The 5 components characterize the spaces of action in our lives. We can see these spaces in 2 significant manners. In the first manner being the components depicted through the elements of our being. As we become progressively mindful of the 5 components and the topics that they express, we begin to delegate when these energies are in balance compared to when they're exhibited in abundance or inadequacy. We are then able to make a move to adjust these energy in our lives and the lives that we have by others. Second, the 5 components characterize levels of awareness with focal points that along these lines that compare to the everyday individual level. The therapy model portrays a staircase of mindfulness that turns into a vehicle for the development of awareness. As we perceive these levels, we are engaged to settle on choices that direct our coexistence towards more significant levels of the mindfulness. So, for example, our 5 elements are the earth element, the fire element, the water element, the air element, and the ether element. So when we're asking ourselves, what are the benefits of polarity therapy? Well, the benefits are useful at all levels, incorporated in the physical aspect as well as the mental aspect. It gives alleviation in torment. It builds the scope of movement in individuals experiencing joint inflammation. This treatment is likewise appropriate for individuals who feel feeble and exhausted constantly. Polarity therapy treatment is likewise to be known as a powerful elective treatment for treating instances of obstinate headache and cerebral pains. Women who experience premenstrual disorders can think of this as an exceptionally powerful in mitigating the pains that they're having. The risk of polarity therapy is hard to determine since there really is no way to prove harm being inflicted to the person seeking help from a polarity therapist. If you are a person who would rather have a licensed therapist work with you and symptoms that can be benefited from this form of Ayurvedic therapy, then this is not really for you. As more data and clinical experiments are being done, the more information we can receive about polarity therapy. However, the benefits and testimonials say that this form of therapy really works. So now we're going to talk about what are the various treatments and how is this therapy integrated with our traditional healthcare. Polarity therapy. This type of various treatment is included in polarity diets, psychological counseling, stretching postures, and much more. The polarity diet has an arrangement prescribed to where it relies heavily upon the individual's medical issues. So somebody with a constant condition may be encouraged to try a detoxifying diet to expel any irrigated destructive substances from the body and to invigorate the free possession of vitality. If a condition is less genuine, certain nutrients may be included or disposed based on the 5 elements idea of Ayurvedic chakra. In this routine, the selection of nourishments relies upon the key component controlling a person's character type. As we mentioned previously before, the 5 elements being ether, air, water, fire, earth. Psychological counseling is a mental and passionate pressure. It's similar to harming a vitality stream as basic issues such as a terrible eating routine. During the polarity diet, the specialist tunes in and offers support as the consumer experiences intense subject matters at their own pace. Lastly, the stretching postures is the incorporation of a progressive use of yoga type stances intended to discharge stale vitality, improve vitality stream, and reestablish harmony among the 5 elements. Regularly, the stances are joined with vocal articulation to additionally invigorate the progression of vitality. The activities need to just be accomplished for a couple of moments every day to be viable. When asking how do we increase our public awareness? So we can increase the public awareness of the education behind polarity therapy by describing in detail what the polarity model is, how the normal well-being of an individual can experience blockage of their vitality frameworks in their regular state. The blockages, for the most part, show unnoticeable degree of the field. Polarity therapy looks to discover blockages and discharge any vitality to the ordinary stream of designs and to keep up the energy in the field in an unopened and adaptable condition. Normally, a typical polarity session, you have a specialist that evaluates the fiery qualities utilizing population perception and meeting strategies. Sessions, for the most part, are normally about 60 minutes to an hour and a half. What are the financial implications to individuals? One, polarity therapy is cost effective. You're able to yourself find the best practitioner for you. It also depends on how much you're supposed to be giving your specialist per session and how licensed are specialists in your area. So because there is no licensing for being a polarity therapist in the United States currently, it would be beneficial for you to find someone based upon the American Polarity Therapy Association, which is APTA, in your state, or by asking your primary physician for a referral. A few people practice polarity therapy while others practice it as an assistant to another offer. So in conclusion about polarity therapy, I want you to take away 4 important principles. 1, your body is a stream of energy. Energy is the motion, is the continuous pulling of the opposing poles. This is where we talked about your geological north and your geological south postures and positions for yoga. Number 3, the right side of your body is known as your positive pole. Number 4, your left side of your body, including your feet, are known as the negative pole. So just keep in mind that the connection among your well-being and fertility associating with the source inside yourself is extended to the incorporating any framework of your body.